Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The issue that I'm going to discuss in this video, I think, is self-understood, or it goes without saying. It happens, but you don't hear this in the mainstream or the corporate media in the West. Why? Because I suspect some of the beneficiaries of this situation, this garbage, have to be covered, let's put it this way. So what's going on? You have a war in Ukraine, and there's a lot of people who are wounded over there and killed. Well, that's a lot of organs. Now, I don't know if you're familiar, but I think you can find on online, some studies or at least investigations telling you how much organs cost. Let's say you have a liver problem, not to get a liver transplant, legal or illegally, harvested. The problem is this: the Ukrainian army, according to the Russians, upon being released in the wild to fight the Russian invasion, they have to sign a waiver saying that they agree with their organs being harvested, donated. Now, what do you think happens? There's a big market out there, and that's a big availability of organs. Do I think that happens? I think it happens legally. I'm not saying that ends up on the white market, it ends up on the black market. So let's look at this issue coming from Sputnik. Obviously, Sputnik has a reason and an interest to promote this, or at least report about this issue. Evidence of organ harvesting in Ukrainian army found in Severodonetsk, LPR authorities, Luhansk People's Republic's authorities. Overwhelming evidence proving the work of black transplantologists in the Ukrainian army. That's not like African American for my American friends, okay? It's not that black, because they always think about race, and you got skewed with that. Even I was looked over there and said, oh, what do you mean? Well, just a second. No, black like illegal, okay? In the Ukrainian Armed Forces have been discovered on the territory of the city of Severodonetsk in the Lugansk People Republic, which was under the control of the Ukrainian military until the summer of 2022, the LPR security forces told Sputnik. I am pretty sure that goes for the other side as well. Okay, why? Why do you think the other guys are somehow morally superior or something? No, they are people. They are human. So, and I'm quoting, in the liberated territories in the LPR, we have come across quite interesting documents that prove that organ transplantation, let's put it this way, was put on stream in Ukraine. The very first donors were soldiers of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, end quote. A security force spokeswoman involved in collecting evidence on the issue said. Among other things, consent forms for the extraction of homotransplants were found in Severodonetsk, filled out on behalf of military personnel of the Ukrainian military in 2022. This is what the Russians report. Keep that in mind. The spokeswoman said, adding that all the documents were filled out in the same handwriting, and the identical signature stamp marked all the forms where the donor's signature should have been. Where the donor's signature should have been. And I'm quoting, every Ukrainian military officer, supposedly, I don't know if it's any, but this is what they say. I'm just going to read what they say. I'm not saying I agree with that. Every Ukrainian military officer supposedly filled out this document when undergoing medical tests. It is a consent document for organ transplantation. A personal file was opened on each officer so that in case of injury, it would be possible to understand which organ could be removed and for which recipient it would be suitable. Well, as we can see, these are not personal signatures of soldiers, but a kind of stamp that symbolize the doctors that a certain organ could be removed from that person. Well, let's make it this way. if you are in a war and you fight for your country's existence, as the narrative is vomited on, I think, some people, without telling them that they actually fight for other interests, not for their country and that. But anyway, some people really believe, they want to believe that, that's fine. The thing is, when you fight like that, and you have an army, and you know your army is smaller than the other one, and regardless, you want to get for your wounded personnel, military, you want to make sure that if he's wounded, you can, have some transplant organs, so you can, so homo transplants, to be able to have that person maybe fight again, maybe be a member of the society that is going to produce something. So that's normal. I mean, for the survival of the tribe, you do this kind of thing. So I think it's without saying. Now, is that I don't think it should be mandatory. I think it should be voluntary. But once you die, why in the fuck you care? But anyway, for me, I don't care. The problems should be everybody else's problem when I die. It doesn't really matter. If they wanted the cheapest way of disposing me, regardless, throw me in the ditch, I don't care. I don't care. Why? 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 Do you think I'm going to look and say, hey, easy with the body, easy? Oh my God, I'm going to be up there and looking down. No, that's their problem. And being their problem, I agree, so they can invest the least in me. Maybe, I don't know, in the middle of the night, bury me in the backyard or something. No money, nothing spent. I'm okay with that. It's their decision. The soldiers could not have been unaware of the existence of such a document, she added. There are a number of other pieces of evidence that indirectly confirm the work of black transplantologists, Scientologists, in the territory of Severodonetsk while under the control of the Ukrainian army before control passed on to Russia, the security forces said. Particularly active operation of organ harvesting took place during the Battle of Rubeznoye, Severodonetsk, and the surrounding area in the spring of 2022, the spokeswoman told Sputnik, adding that according to witnesses, during this period, the bodies of Ukrainian soldiers with traces of autopsy and organ removal were discovered on the territory of the morgue. These bodies were subsequently disposed of. The evidence was done. In July 2023, Russian Security Council Secretary Nikolai Patrushev said that Kiev used its wounded soldiers as biomaterial, secretly removing organs from them for transplantation. Jesus Christ, there's 2 T's over there. 3 T's. Transplantation, not translations. Transplantation, God fucker. In the summer of 2020. Now, is that the transplantation? Is it from a soldier to a soldier, or from a soldier to a rich Western donor of money to certain kind of people? Which one is it? In the summer of 2023, the Ukrainian military, it matters. Ukrainian military command started collecting more donor and biometric material from members of the territorial defense and national police officers in the Odessa region and Ukraine's controlled parts of Zaporozhye region. An officer of Russian law enforcement agencies told Sputnik, citing sources in Ukrainian volunteer formations. I have no doubt that these things occur, legally or illegally. I think I don't know. The person should be asked if he wants, before he dies, obviously, because after that you can ask nobody. Or you can, as a military, as a soldier, right there, let my family decide. But what if they don't work on identify who your family is? Then they will make a decision. Why do you think they're going to keep you on ice for 3 months? Who's going to pay for that? And if you're like 10,000 people, where are you going to hold them? Now it's winter, hold them outside. The crows will come over, right over. I'm just saying, it's just, I think that happens, and a lot of people will, I don't even want to talk about it. It's so nasty. It's so nasty. Nasty if it's done illegally. If it's done legally and all that, I'm okay for that. If some people are sick somewhere and these guys agreed upon my death, you can use this, I'm all for it. But if I could, but I don't know if it's I think it's you can freeze the organ. I don't think if you freeze it, it's going to be able to function as it should be. I think it's a certain time that you have to transplant it. You can just freeze it for, oh, I'm going to do this for in case my son is going to have a problem. I'm going to freeze this, like your eggs or fertility eggs, or your umbilical cord for the stem cells. In case someone gets cancer, you supposedly can freeze that somewhere, and no, you supposedly you can freeze it like in a bank. And if someone gets cancer, supposedly the umbilical cord has some stem cells over there that would help with cancer, and you can do that. The same thing with the organs. You're gonna have organs frozen somewhere, and you just use them for sick people who, I don't know. I don't want to go deeper. It's nasty if that's done illegally, and I can't tell you what I would do with those people who would do this illegally. It's the desecration of a person's, the family's, how should I put it? The family's honor. I mean, the person, again, if the person decided, I don't give up, that's a different story. But if it was not asked, it's like a rape. No, without your consent, no, you can't do that. Even worse, because you desecrate the. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think that happens. I think that happened. I'm possibility 100%, probability 99%, and I'm guessing on the other side is the same thing. Black market, illegal market. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.